quick. Here we go. Okay, so this is an island that I'm currently working on. By the way, if I'm too loud, let me know. I have not tested any of this stuff, so this is my first time, but yeah. This is an island that I'm currently working on. It's called Ancient Saborian Vault. So I figured I'd just kind of give it a little showcase here. It's been quite a while since I worked on this one, but it's a pretty cool concept overall. Okay, perfect. I sound good? Awesome. Very good. Okay. Yeah, so this is a vault I made. I'm just gonna take a quick pan around the island here. I can turn up the speed. There we go. Some stuff. Go. Okay. Yeah, so this is an island that I've been working on for quite a while. So, you know, they have something what's called the open development community. For the longest time, the island creator was something that a lot of us couldn't really talk about or even share the stuff they were working on. So, I mean, I have about 70-ish, 80-ish hours in the island creator. So, I've played it obviously somewhat. So I've dabbled at least. But this is an island that I was working on. It was just a concept that I thought of, which was an ancient Saborian vault, and that basically is oriented around the structure of the Saborians, which is one of the cultures that is going to be in Lost Skies. And so here is kind of inside the vault room. So yeah, so this is the this is kind of like the vault open area. Conceptually, I kind of put this together where it was based on the I think it was the data relay. Hold on. Go back real quick. I forget what the puzzle names were. It's been so long. Yeah, the relay puzzle. Sorry. But yeah, so I based this initial puzzle on the data relay because I initially put this together when you know, some of the earliest not islands, the earliest tools or creator tools were actually out, and that was the relay puzzle here. So initially, like, the thought was, you know, you'd start at this top island, you'd kind of arrive at this island, see like a giant gaping hole, and let me just go into a player mode real quick. But you'd kind of come to this island here and you'd be like, whoa, what is this giant, this humongous hole in the middle of the island? Obviously see a levitating little island up here, which I'm gonna go ahead and grapple to. I recently did a couple modifications to it where I added the that energy wall there, that way you couldn't go down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start the kind of unlocking sequence that I have for this, because this is kind of like a huge island size puzzle that I just was like, might as well just kind of go big or go home. It's obviously nowhere near done, but I'm gonna go ahead and start opening it here. Oh, I'm gonna be in air actually. For some reason not detecting my grapple. There we go. Okay. I missed one? Oh, I did miss one. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, we do need to get your grapple skills all good. We did have a lot of practice. Okay, I apparently did not do this correctly. Hold on. Don't mind me taking a little while here. Okay, cool. So that part's done. I basically set the unlocking sequence here to connect to this little drone guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and climb up here to get him to start moving. By the way, I love this in the sky so freaking much. Is Adrift coming back? I can't wait. Yes, Worlds Adrift is semi kind of, yes. The devs are making a game called Lost Skies, in case you haven't heard. And this is the island for that. Yeah, so completing that step of the puzzle basically unlocks this giant energy shield that was kind of locking away the vault. and this little drone guy falls all the way down to this humongous levitating cube. I'm just gonna flop down on top of here. And once he gets down to this little mechanism here, it will unlock this lever. Once I hit E on it, it unlocks all the doors that surround this island. And so now, being able to kind of actually go through and see, you can actually notice there are data relays on this thing. So I also put a few little turrets here, but yeah, so you have these little data relays, and I place periodic ones on different boulders basically around this island. And the thought process of this is that now that I've kind of unlocked this top sequence, if you notice at the very top island here, I'm going to actually exit out. When you complete this step, it opens these doors, which then activates all of these data relays, and these connect to other relays, which then travel all the way down until you reach the actual doors themselves. I'm actually going to make it daytime again because it's kind of hard to see. Real quick. There we go. So yeah, all of these are going to kind of chain around, get to the doors, and once you actually connect them to the final data relay to finish the puzzle, this will inevitably unlock the ancient Suborian vault, as the island is named, basically. Okay. Let's then try out the island creator. Firstly, yeah, it can be kind of daunting to kind of look at the island creator because there's kind of so much stuff you can kind of do. But yeah, quick question: is there not always a way to change mount sensitivity on the island creator? That's a great question. I think you can. Inverse. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, I definitely can in game, but obviously I can't talk about that. This is just the island creator. I'm sure they'll eventually get around to implementing that at some point. It is very sensitive, I will agree. Thankfully I can kind of modify it with my own mouse, but this is just like the inside of the vault. I put a bunch of chests and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, it's a relatively simple concept, but I just kind of like the idea of having this, like, you know, secretly held together, trapped, you know, chasm, basically, hiding in an old vault, you know, that Suborians hid a bunch of their goods before the cataclysm, or whatever event that was, which we'll find out in due time. I made my first island too big, and now it's taking forever to fill out. Yeah, I can understand that, because this I think was my first island, and I was just like, I got into open dev because this is like, you know, this is back when none of this was shared. I got into it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the craziest thing possible. I'm gonna build this crazy vault. There's gonna be these multi-steps, and then I get into it and I'm like, man, 9 hours later, yeah, this is okay, this is taking a while. And just to give you an idea, like, all this flooring here, like each of these, if I go to the objects real quick, like this whole staircase, this like rounded, like alien technology staircase or whatever, I had to like individually grab like the staircase asset, and you see it's kind of like weirdly clipped together, but like combine and then align and then realign and then like re-elevate, locking all of these stair pieces together individually, turn them into a group, and then do that for like every single one of these floors. I had to custom make all of these, because you can do like custom assets. Let me see. Yeah, custom groups here. Let's see if it lets me. Look at these. Sorry. How does it feel to play anything majorly different to World's Drift? It feels very great. Honestly, I'm very happy that this stuff is like finally coming back, frankly. But I will say, at least strictly comparing the island creator to World's Adrift and like Lost Skies, what we have here, there is just an absurd level of control, especially with the physics-based puzzles. That stuff is really, really fun. And I'm personally really happy about the fact that we have those custom groups things, which, like, the idea that people can just like compile their own like groups of, you know, objects that they want. There's some pretty crazy ones, which actually I will show you guys later. I think it was a mansion island, and they made this really cool, like, shrunken down model of a ship, which I will also show you another thing which I've done, which is very cool. But yeah, you got early access to the island creator. Yeah, progression with keys and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I did get early access again, but thankfully it's now public, so I can actually like share this stuff. I'm not going to share anything that's hidden, obviously. But yeah, everything public, I will do everything in my absolute power to show you guys to the best of my ability. But what I was saying before, yeah, I just think there is a ton of control when it comes to individual assets that you have unanimous control over. And like, you know, just for example, like, you know, you can make anything any size you want, and you kind of merge it together. If I want, like, you know, I want to place this little stalagmite rock here, right? I can place it. I can, you know, I can grab it, I can rotate it, I can enlarge it so that now it's the size of this whole vault in like 3 seconds. You know, it's kind of daunting, the level of things that we can do in this game. It's quite baffling to some extent, but I think we're gonna see some crazy stuff in the next year. So, oh, thank you, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words. It means a lot. Yes, so anyway, I forget what I was gonna show you guys next real quick. Let's go to a different island real quick, if I can make my brain work here. Grand Inventor's Mansion. So this is the one that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Pretty cool. So there's a little model thing that they made of a little ship, and it just kind of really perfectly depicts like the level of control of minor details that you have in this stuff, and it's insane. If it loads, hopefully it doesn't crash. It might crash. I don't like the spinning wheel. You'll find out. Ah, we're good. Okay. May have a bit of lag here. I do believe this is the front. Quote me on that. Okay. Yeah, so I am actually getting quite a bit of lag here. That's okay. I'm sure to a lot of extent though, like these builds in the island creator are going to be like kind of laggy for the average computer, because I'm running a pretty beefy GPU. I have like a 4070 Ti, which I bought. I really shouldn't have bought that, but yes, it was a hefty penny. But still, I'm, you know, kind of struggling FPS. I kind of have a lower end CPU, which probably is bottlenecking it, at least for a good percentage of what it is. But this over here, yes, this is what I want to show you. This ship, right? Looking at this, like, you're like, okay, this is a little model ship. Like, initially I'd look at this and I'd be like, okay, this is just like a little asset they put in the game. But no, like, these are like full-sized rails that are like supposed to be my character player size, but shrunken down. Like, you see this little asset right here, this little tiny little notion there. That's like the little like relay thing. I can't show you because I didn't edit this island. I had to go back to the creator to actually show you. But yeah, you can basically take, you know, assets, for example, you know, I think this engine here, at least the back side of it, it's like comprised of like the campfire for the player, and it's like shrunken down, and then they took like little gravestones, I do believe, that are again player size, and then just, you know, run them in a circle, shrunk them down to a minute size, and then, you know, like you have so much control, it's insane. Like this is a person gravestone, I do believe here. This wing. So it's kind of crazy. Okay. Yeah, it might be streaming. Yeah. Yeah, how are Minecraft and Lego people not into this? I don't know, but it's ridiculous, like the level of control that you're definitely gonna have in this game, at least thus far. Because like devs are like they're still in like an alpha stage, I would say. Oh, this is a really cool room. I just love the sun shafts. Like, look at that. Like, look at that. Just the sun coming in like that. That's so good. And then they like built out this like these like bones of a sky whale. I don't think this is an asset in the game. I think they like made this. Yeah, this is just like a dead sky whale. Like, this is so awesome. Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I've been so anxious to play this like publicly and stuff like that, but thankfully, or not thankfully, sadly I cannot play any of the actual game stuff. But yeah, like they made little like museum artifacts and stuff. Like, it's so cool. How do you make this? It's like a fossil. Oh, I see. So yeah, he just took little stones and then like slightly embedded them, shrunk them down, and then put them in this rock piece. Very cool. Okay. But yeah, like, just to show you real quick, the kind of like minute detail that you can add. Real quick, I'm going to show you another test world that I worked on. It's probably been a year now since I've touched this, but I recently opened it again. Did the devs make this one early access? The devs make this one, or is this early access? I think the Inventor's Mansion is not from the devs. I'm pretty sure. I think most, if not all, the islands. Actually, I'd say most of the islands are community made, and I'm pretty sure Grand Inventor's Mansion was listed as one of the Skywatch like islands that they put at the end of them sometimes. Because have you seen? Because I've made a video on basically every Skywatch that has been released. And they did do islands where they're like, hey, this is a cool island the community made in open dev, we want to share it to you guys. And I think Inventor's Mansion was made by one of y'all who's also an open dev. But yeah, this right here, this is a bunch of symbols. And so like, if you want to take a look at this is my iteration of trying to write with the Gaul script. So if you guys don't remember, which I'm gonna, don't mind me, I'm gonna open these folders real quick and sift through my files here. I have a folder which I use, and I keep basically every single Skywatch update that there has been. I think it was Skywatch 17. Yes. Let me just make sure that none of this is breaking open dev rules here. Want to make sure I'm keeping my files safe here. Okay, yes, we're good. So this, which I hope you guys can see. Yes, this stuff is the Gaul script. So yeah, so I made a video about it at some point. There's this guy in the Discord, his name's Rin. He's absolutely like mind-boggling smart guy. Okay, when this initially came out, they were still putting together a lot of cool stuff for the game, and so they're like, yeah, so we made this like language out of the Gaul script, and it's based off of Japanese kanji and Egyptian hieroglyphs. And I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. Like, I love that. I'm just gonna nerd out over that. And this man had the audacity. He was just like, man, you know what I should do right now? I should just write a program to be able to write like all of the, you know, anything you want in Gaul script. And this guy did this, Rin, which I made a video about. It's like 3 minutes long. Go to my channel, you'll see it. It's like, yeah, I talk about it, and there's a link in there. which I'm actually going to go and find real quick, just so I can pull it up and show you what he actually did on that real quick. Un momento. Where is it? This one. My voice is off. Do not want to hear that. Okay. So he put it on GitHub, this thing, which is crazy. And it's kind of primitive, but yeah, you can basically just type like how do you spell numinal ultra microscopic silico volcano coniosis, and then you get this, you know, gibberish of like a of a mess. But yeah, it's like, you know, you can write, you know, complete gibberish like that, or it can be like, you know, lost skies, and then you get these symbols. And he basically wrote this out so that the symbol structure is like, you know, relatively oriented in the same way as this. And then I made a video about it because I was just like, this is so cool. This man was just like, I'm gonna build a program that can like write out this language in a game that doesn't even exist yet. And I'm just like, dude, you're insane. So, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, like they have other images here which I can also pull up. That's their dictionary. Yeah. It's Matt Lad made a translator, yeah. But yeah, here's some more symbols. I guess they're referencing like kanji, Egyptian hieroglyphs and all that stuff. They had a bunch of images. This one I tried to understand, I couldn't get it. There was like a bunch of like A/B sequencing, like how you could recognize the organized structure of all. I explained it in a video. It's been too long, I've forgotten, my brain doesn't work, but it kind of reads like, if I remember correctly, it's like center to top, and then clockwise directionally is like the order of like reading the lettering. But either way, right, you know, they have this symbol, lost skies, right? And that's what I did in the island creator. You might recognize this looks, excuse me, that's upside down actually, but this looks identical. And I even like took all of these individual brick pieces, turned them into a structural, you know, circular pattern. And then even for like these little time of day, here we go. Even for these like little dots here, these are each individual bricks going in a circle and then layered on top of each other, and then I turned them into a group. Not machine efficient. Do not do this. Bad idea. As you can see, because on the creator it tells you, you know, how complex your island is. I'm obviously pushing the limits of this, and it's probably not good for anyone's machine to have these symbols on the island, but like initially I was like, I want to put this in the Saborian island because I want this to be like on a wall, and you're like reading that, you're like, what are these weird symbols? Well, it reads lost skies. That's just what they have on their Gaul script or whatever. And so I just made this, turned it into a group, and then I think I actually did put it in the island, but on a table, which, you know, again, not a good idea. But yeah, totally something a culture would do. Love the idea. Yeah, it's very cool seeing all this stuff. But yeah, so I thought, you know, clearly this is complex. It's going to be taxing on your machine if you try to run it like this. So why don't I put it in my already heavy laggy world that I'm building? Because that's a smart idea. Don't mind me. I'm gonna go and try and find, because I put in a little shack. Yeah, I put in a little shack, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and find that real quick. I think I put it in this little divot over here. Yeah, honestly, they should add circles. And I think they made a post where they ended up just kind of converting it into like a direct font, so it reads like left to right and not like top down how it was initially. But yeah, don't mind this. I placed this before they updated the data banks, so this did not look like this. But yeah, I built this little shack out of like wood pieces. Like even these tiny little like wood slits, you can like shrink down and then like just build a shack like this. You know, like some survivor was here. And it's kind of hard to see. This is like an entire wall that's like 6 times the size of me, shrunken down to like a little book. A little, you know, thing there. That's a statue, which you might recognize. They're pretty big. But on the table there, I put little circles. Initially, I did put in the symbol I made from Lost Sky, the Lost Sky symbol I built in the other world, on this table. I think it lagged out my game, and then I just used like the small eccentric circles. But each of those little bricks still goes in a full, you know, rotation. So, you know, I kind of was just like, okay, this is some guy who's here finding artifacts, like chucking them on his little wood bench. You know, and he's just like figuring out what these symbols are, whatever it is. Yeah, and the way you can add environmental storytelling is so freeing. You can make anything you can think of. Yeah, it's pretty dang cool. It is pretty dang cool. And I love that they've updated the visuals like this in the Island Creator, because before you did not have that type of thing. But it is very cool to see all this stuff. But yeah, I think I still have a lot of like errors on this island. Like there's a lot of things that need to get cleaned up, because I kind of went a little out of scope for what's in my my range of abilities here, because there's so many times where I'll be like, oh, why is that tree growing out of solid stone? Why is that that, you know, giant brick thing levitating? But, you know, it's pretty cool. I also had a lot of these like levitating stones, because I really like the idea of being able to kind of grapple to your next location and all that stuff. We'll quickly go to a cave that I built recently. Did they add light baking in the Island Creator? I think so. I guess I don't know the full extent of light baking itself particularly. They do have a lot of settings for controlling visuals here. If you go to environments, yeah, so there's lighting like quality sets. Like I'm on the lowest setting because I want to try and get some good FPS best I can, right? But they have like lighting powered by H-trace, not necessarily fully understanding that. They do have dynamic resolution settings, and all the other stuff. You control fog quality as well, which is pretty cool. And even down to like, you know, how windy you want it to be. Like if we take a look at like this tree here, you know, you can also increase the cloud coverage too. Like if we look in the skies over here, I can make them disappear. So it's just an ocean of blue, or it's, you know, overwhelming white in all directions, which is pretty cool. But yeah, back to the wind thing. Yeah, you can change the direction, which it's better seen on the grass, I think, because, you know, you spin it around, you'll kind of notice the little leaves, they kind of just rotate around. Yeah. They keep the climbing mechanic. I don't remember there being a climbing mechanic in World Drift. Maybe I'm just like completely blind, but you can climb on stuff. But yeah, you can like change the turbulence here. You can see like the leaves like freaking out now. They're going crazy. Make it super high so it just looks ridiculous, but I'm gonna keep it down just not to kill my game probably. But yeah, like, you know, you can climb like this, you know, you can do little jumps to get higher very quickly. Give yourself a little boost. And even on like physics objects too, you can climb as well, and that's really cool, which I'll actually show you in a second here when I get to the place I was going, because I keep getting sidetracked. Me and my little ADHD brain. Uno momento. Por favor. Here we go. So this is one I put in like literally yesterday. And it's just a giant cube that's blocking a little entrance here. Let me just chuck these on as much as I can. And I'm gonna go ahead and try and pull this off. Here we go. Keep putting more on. So yeah, even though this block is like, yeah, the grappling is very nice and fluid. I completely agree. But yeah, like even though this block is levitating, I can climb on it and still like dangle off the edge and stuff, which is just so cool. I can even like crawl around the side while we're floating in the air. Like the mechanics and like physics is so like, they did a great job with it. So I'm gonna fall to my death. Oh god. Oh, okay. Hi cube. Oh no, he's gonna stay on. Actually, I'm actually gonna make this fly off the edge now because I want to just see that. But yeah, the interactions are very cool. Let's see if I can manage this. Come with me. Yo, what's up, Wolf Barbarian? How you doing? It's been a while. But yeah, so now that physics cube is just gonna be like gone, lost to the abyss and below. Bye bye. But yes, okay. Yeah, that's how the Atlas lifter works. So there are set physics objects in the island creator, and then you basically just take your little Atlas lifter, you chuck it on, and it, you know, the interaction when you throw it on is not the same as in game. There's obviously sound effects, other stuff like that, right? It's more updated. It's a lot better in game than it is here, but you know, the function is the exact same. You throw the Atlas lifter onto the physics object, it makes it have levitation. You can pull on and grapple on it. You can climb it in any way you want. You could even, you know, I guess if you were in game, probably, you know, put it above a friend's head and be like, oopsie, and then yeah, you get the idea. Right, but I built this little cave here. This is a cool little puzzle. I saw this on a different island I was exploring. You just finished the Lost Skies stream? Oh yeah, it's looking very cool. Yeah, I saw this on a different island. I think it was Shattered Peak, which is the one the devs went through, which unfortunately I missed a lot of that stream because I was taking an exam. But there's a cool little, like, you know, you can shoot a button to activate a door, and they had this like little hole on the side of the little cave, and I'm like, oh, that's such a cool concept. So I just took that idea. I was just like, great idea. I should just incorporate it the same way. But yeah, so this is another puzzle here, which I don't know if they went over this one, but I have it in this. So yeah, there's a locked door, locked chests, right? You're like, okay, so I need to get this open. And the way you do that is you shoot these things until they are oriented in the direction that actually unlocks the mechanism. I think there's one more for that one. Yeah, so that one's aligned, and then this glows. I forget, it's the monolith puzzle. I think that's the name. But yeah, now that I've unlocked that, or I've shot it into orientation, I can open up the crates. Obviously no loot's gonna come out. It's in the island creator. But then door unlocks, and that leads you to freedom. That was just a little puzzle that I added to the side very recently. This got updated wonky. I think I smoothed the world, so now these are levitating. So I do gotta fix those. And so is this rock. Yeah, there's just a lot of control. And I just think there's gonna be so many cool mechanics and island builds that get shown off. I think another one I saw recently, I forget the name of the island. I could probably find it if I just scrolled around. But there's also mechanics not only to build puzzles, right, to make them activate in sequence with one another, but in the same sense, you can also lock doors and make them do the opposite. So, you know, say you go through a pathway, and you find a corridor, and you know there's an open door, and you're like, okay, I gotta do this puzzle to unlock the next door to get to where I want to go, and you unlock it. But maybe now by doing that, you've simultaneously locked the door behind you, so now you're forced to go a certain way, right? And so the logic, at least in terms of control that you have over gameplay, placing puzzle assets, is just really cool. I just made a connection somewhere I probably should not have done. Whoopsies. Need to figure out how to undo that. Me. There we go. Okay. That was an accident. Don't do that. This is another little puzzle I did here. I'll go ahead and just show off real quick. The idea behind this one is like, it's just a collapsing doorway that kind of slid down, got revealed somehow. See if we can get this open. Okay, so yeah. Opens this little doorway that's kind of like in the side of the hill. Got a little staircase down. This cool little loot room. Bunch of pretty plants and all that stuff. I love these plants, by the way. They look so cool. Oh yeah, I'm super hyped to see how creators use this stuff too. It's gonna be very nice. And this is that same statue, right? That little one that you saw on the little shack. In that little shack that I made earlier. But just enlarged to people size. But yeah, it's very cool. The amount of control that we're gonna have over this stuff. And I can't wait to see some people build some crazy stuff. But I think another thing that the devs also mentioned is that they were gonna do like events centered around people building islands, which I think would be really cool. Personally, I think it'd be cool to like if the whole streaming on YouTube thing works out here, I think it'd be cool to do like events centered around like ranking people's islands. And just like, you know, people do like, we do like challenges or something. Maybe the winner gets like $10 or something. I don't know. That could be something that's done in the future, but you know, I'd like to see that stuff. But yeah, honestly, like creating more incentives for people to build stuff. I'm totally down to do all sorts of stuff like that. Obviously, because I want Lost Skies to look awesome as best as it can. Let's see here. I really like this this new stuff here. It looks awesome. Super excited to play it. Oh yeah, I am too, man. Oh, I can't say that. I've played the game, but I'm excited for it to be finished, and I'm excited to like have everyone be able to see the awesome stuff. For Worlds Adrift, they had an island creator contest where bosses concept artists drew the island. Yeah, I'm assuming they'll probably do something similar. I don't think I was around that long to actually like, you know, be a part of that stuff. Just because I played Worlds Adrift very late, and I only really played like the game itself. I didn't really do much island creator, and that was years ago when I was a kid. So I was just like, whatever. Yeah, better Spider-Man mechanics than the official Spider-Man game. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, the level of physics is just super cool. And you know, I really want to talk about more as much as I can. But again, I have to be careful about the words that I say. I do love these things. These are like totally new. These are from the what's it called? I forget which Skywatch it was. I'd have to sift through it, but this was that material they were making in the Skywatch. It looks the exact same. I presume it's the same. Yeah, I don't know if this is like from the Atlas, that it's like some plant is growing like this, or something else entirely, because it's very similar to like the spawners that we have access to. Puzzle games, usually a dozen puzzles are repeated hundreds of times throughout the entire game. Yeah, Lost Skies will have tens of thousands. It's like you're not gonna have like, they're not gonna make like tens of thousands of puzzles individually, but like the mechanics of the puzzles allow you so much versatility that players can be like, okay, this is a multi-step puzzle. You have to complete like, you know, 4 or 5 different things to unlock this, or, you know, we place a data pad and now it's like, oh, some notes left behind. There's a certain sequence or order you have to like complete X requirement in the puzzle, and then you can open this door or get access to this this room or whatever it is, which I think is very, very cool. These plants are super cool. What the heck? Yeah, like these things, these spawners that you can place down has the same material. And there's probably a lot of lore implications around this, as well as the bosses in relation, but I'm gonna obviously, but these plants are also new. Like, I love this stuff, this foliage, all the like glowing plants. I really hope in the actual game, like when you're walking through like fields of plants like these, that they're like, you know, they wave and they're interactive with your player as you hit them and stuff. Chase the drone puzzle plus parkour is one I made on my island. What's your island called? If you have it public, I'd love to hop on and just see. But yeah, like doing parkour to like chase it down, that's kind of cool. I forget if you have options to change the speed of this thing. Just check real quick. If I click on it, will it tell me? Maybe I need to go down to the end location. Back in here. This thing. Interactable switch. Drone speed. So yeah, you can control how fast you want it. Not published yet. You can set it to wait for you. Okay. Well, if it's not published yet, that's totally fine. Do not worry about that there. It is still day one, so I don't expect anyone to pop out with like islands that they're ready, you know? They're just like, ah, don't worry, I got this massive thing with 10 multi-steps finished. By the way. Here is this. Okay. So they listed this as Seraph drones, I'm now realizing. And that's very similar to the whole Forces of the Seraph stuff we've seen in the Skywatches. So obviously these drone spawners that we can place in some way, shape, or form are connected with the bosses. A lot of the lore stuff I've covered, there was a lot of stuff saying like, you know, did these entities come from like the Gaul civilization or the Gaul people? And that's still up in the air. We don't know if that was, you know, from their culture or if it was like some kind of AI gone rogue situation or whatever it is. But yeah, we'll find out in due time. We'll find out in due time. Hello, what is this? Spasa Games has let you test the island creator. They have let all of us test the island creator. They let me and other people in open dev, yes, we can test it. The early stuff that's not public, but everything here is public. Nothing I'm doing or have talked about is not public. So you can go on Steam right now. If you need, I can pull up the link for you so you can go play it, which I will go do. Uno momento, por favor. While I get distracted. Here we go. Okay. So this is a link to the island creator. I'm gonna go ahead and just pin that at the top so you guys can actually just click that whenever you want to go see it. But yes, this thing, all this stuff is public. None of this is like I have special access or anything. But yeah, it's very, very cool. I really like seeing a lot of your guys' like islands and stuff. It's so funny hearing the delay from downstairs. Oh. Yeah, that guy's my roommate, so yeah, he's I can imagine that's probably fun. Yeah. Well, all right. Anyway. Yeah, so another thing I do want to talk about real quick is that if you guys have any island ideas, pictures, stuff like that, feel free. Link will be in my description of my channel, but on my Discord here, I have a little thing here. You can just share all your islands and stuff. So if you guys mean, obviously you want to share in the Lost Skies Discord. I'm not saying don't not do that, right? Keep doing that. But if you have a bunch of like random videos and stuff, and you're just like, hey, I want to spam everything I'm doing with my island, I want to show all the cool mechanics, pictures, whatever, feel free to go to this very unregulated Discord that I have made. I have a few people in, obviously, but you can just spam whatever the heck you want for now until I get this maybe organized at some point. But yeah, if you guys are like, you want me to see this, you want me to look at this or showcase this, because I'll probably be making some videos down the line showing like the coolest islands, and I think I'll also probably make a video talking about a lot of the mechanics and like trying to compress it as much as I possibly can, so it's like really ingestible for people who are just like coming into this to like, what is this island creator, why can I place down 1,000 assets and reshape and size them and all this stuff, right? I'll probably cover that. Things to know about Worlds Adrift, the island creator, but not this one. Yeah, so definitely I want to do everything I can to like help get the word out about this stuff and obviously explain it as much as it possibly can. I did see a video this morning, it was from like Jade Gaming or something, I forget, and he briefly covered the release of the island creator, and he was kind of talking about like, you know, why are these devs releasing this so early, you know, like this seems weird. I guess the game's coming out really soon. And I think a lot of the reasoning comes down to like, they want to have a large sampling size of people to actually like play this stuff. Like they really want to see what we can build and kind of push the limits of the island creator, because I think that will give them a better like frame of reference on like how to continue developing this, right? Because, you know, it's still very early, right? They have made great progress, like fantastic progress, but they want to like make sure that like everything's in order, you know. It's nice having the open development community, right? It's nice having everyone there working on like the newly pushed out stuff that's not public, but they want to have a huge selection of islands. They want people to like, you know, start now working on their stuff, you know, as they're developing it, so they can kind of like work around bugs or problems, or, you know, if the community is like in agreement, they're like, hey, we really want to see more of X thing, or we want X puzzle to do this thing, you know, they can work around that, you know, because now you're getting a much larger sampling size and it's free to the public, so that helps a lot. That helps a lot. Does it look more complex than it actually is? I did some sculpting on the old creator, but no traps or anything. I'd say, I don't know. I think overall, I think the creator is, once you kind of mess around with it for 30 minutes to an hour or so, you kind of get a good scope on how to properly understand everything. All this stuff is kind of organized like object wise into a very nice, you know, file folder list of stuff. And it's very easy to just kind of open each individual subcategory, click around on it. I think it's very intuitive, you know. It's not like they've just kind of spammed a bunch of, you know, controls everywhere. And even on like, you know, I'd say the more complex stuff, I'd say, comes from like the puzzle elements. But you have like switches and stuff, and then you'll say, we'll place this energy wall here. It's very intuitive, right? It's very, you know, we have an input on the left side, output on the right side. You know, I have this switch here. I just left click, just drag it to the input of this energy wall, right? So now I'm here, I'm gonna turn on this energy wall, and now, you know, I can't get past it, right? And that functions with a lot of the doors, a lot of the menus. Everything can kind of be chained off of each other in that way. So complexually, it's not overtly too bad, I'd say. I think it's pretty intuitive for what, you know, what we have thus far. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these real quick and fix these rocks because I'm clicking things. There we go. I cannot wait to Lost Skies. I want to recreate some crazy ships I made in World Adrift. Yes, Yes, absolutely, and I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him. We'll take a look at some other islands that I think are really cool that have some very awesome ships they made in a little second here. Yeah, looks like World Adrift 2, so many updates. We have puzzles, lens flare, better lighting, better models, and even the menus look better. Yeah. If I were to build an island, there would be hard to find Easter eggs like World Adrift references. I think that's a great idea. I think as many Worlds Adrift references as possible is should be completely, definitely added for sure. I want to see every possible thing referencing that game as much as possible. Speaking of, this is a thing. While we're nerding out over Worlds Adrift, okay, I didn't like print this out myself, but I did design this, and it's the Worlds Adrift logo. You got like the little trees in the bottom there and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's my nerd out for Worlds Adrift here. Even my home screen is the Worlds Adrift logo on my phone. So I've been kind of nerding out over this game for too long, for better or for worse. I don't even know how to respond, how you guys would respond to that. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but yeah, it's fun to just like mess around with that stuff, and I really love, because a lot of these assets, like, you know, there's certain things that are in the Lost Guys, like objects in the island creator, that were also in Worlds Adrift, which, like, in the trailer, I don't know if you remember, like, let me just see if I can actually pull this up real quick. I'm gonna pull up the Lost Guys game trailer real fast, just to quickly show you what I mean. Okay, let me exit out of this real quick. Yeah, just to show you what I mean here, like, there are some assets that are in, where is it? I know you're here. I'm gonna find you. There it is. This thing. And this is an island in the game, but this little dude statue here, I know this is in Worlds Adrift somewhere, and I can't remember what it was called. I'd have to pull it. I could pull it up actually, probably, but you know, we'll skip past that part. But yeah, it's cool seeing a lot of objects that are like from Worlds Adrift, like being brought back, like redesigned, remade, as well. I have a ton of screenshots of some of my ships. Is there a place on your Discord where we can share them? Yes, there is. Well, not necessarily for ships, but feel free to just kind of spam them in like the share your islands maybe. I might just create a channel real quick. I'll just call them Ships Creations. Yeah, we're just gonna call that like on the fly edition. Let me make sure this is public as well. No, not private. Everyone. Yes. There you go. Now you can do that. Yeah, this is very planned out. There's nothing last minute made here, I swear. Okay. Probably played some islands. Yeah. Yeah, very yeah. We're very structured in this stream. It's going very well. I didn't make any islands, but I did a ton of crazy ships. I used to go to this big flat island where everyone gathered to show off ships. It was like a car show. Yeah. I really like that stuff. And, you know, like, speaking on that topic, right? I really, like, when Lost Guys was initially coming out, right? And I found out that it was just going to be a 6-player co-op. I was, like, happy, but at the same time, I was like, man, like, I get it, right? Like, if you've seen any of the videos I've made on this channel, right, it completely makes sense why they went away from the MMO. it makes complete sense, right? Spatial OS, you know, kind of screwed them over in more ways than one. So staying away from like the MMO structure of the game, just being that, like, it makes sense. But now with the fact that we're gonna have dedicated servers, like, I'm really curious to see what the limits of that will be, because I think the aspect of Worlds Adrift, right, it was great. Yeah, of course, co-op was way better than Dead. I am so happy with everything that they have made and done. But with the addition of now that the fact that there's going to be dedicated servers, it's like, well, now we can have all of it. We can, you know, you can set up servers, right, with a bunch of people, right? We don't know what the limits of those are yet, but with the dedicated servers, right, you can make worlds where it's like peaceful only, you know, you can't kill people, you can't murder your friends, you can't have PvP, whatever it is. But you can also have, you know, that combat aspect of it. And I think that's really great because it gives you all of the decisions at the same time. You can do whatever the heck you want. You can run a server in whatever, you know, structure you want to do, with the dev islands, with, you know, only the community islands, or both at a time, all at the same time. So it's just, I think it's great. But yeah. AIBC, by the way, at the end of Worlds Adrift, there were many toxic players focused on metagame in PvP. Don't you think the same could happen in Lost Skies with time, and like PvP, but not as an end in itself? Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I think here's the deal. I think that can happen, right, to some extent. But with the fact now that it's not an MMO, right? It's dedicated servers. So, you know, you choose how you want to host the world, right? It gives you the option, right, that if you want to have this world or this server, it's kind of got its own space of PvP, or you can have it not be that, right? And so I don't think it will evolve in any aspect to that, because now we have the individual control to decide how we want it. It's not like the game will only run in the MMO server structure like it was before, right? So we get I think we get quite a lot more than just that. But I do see what you mean by that. Yeah. Let's see here. The server meshing was what hat killed. If they didn't have to rely on a company to do it, we'd probably still be playing. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. They were ahead of their time. I think they were one of the first ones to use spatial OS, and to actually get that kind of scale for an MMO game. Yeah. Oh, Sync's here. Hey, it's Sync from Bossa. Thanks for doing what you do. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the Island Creator. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys have been doing some crazy stuff. Like, you know, I've been nerding out over this stuff for so long, and seeing this finally released to the public is just so awesome to see. That's very cool. I think Sync Tom Jackson. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's him. If that was him, yeah, I'm sorry I missed a lot of you guys' stream. I wanted to see most of it. I had a flight dynamics and control exam I was taking, so I was very occupied, but I was like trying to run it on my phone right before the exam. I was like, oh, I just want to watch. But yeah, I got on that the second the exam was over. I was just like, I need to get on this. I need to see this. And I'll probably rewatch the VOD, because I think they mentioned they were gonna post it back on their YouTube or something. Probably on their Twitch as well. But yeah. The Island Creator has been very cool. Oh yeah, right. We were gonna go to a different island. I totally forgot. Let me switch over here. Oh yeah. Definitely gonna watch the VOD back. Let's see here. Where was it? There wasn't Netherworld. Oh my gosh. There's already so many islands here. Like just today. That's gonna be crazy. Excuse me. When I told my friends about Lost Skies, they almost cried. We played beta from sundown and can't wait to get back in this world. Well, that's great to hear, because it is very cool. Oh, the spine. Here we go. This is it. No, yeah. Like when I first, I forget when my first video on this channel was, because um here, let me just pull this up when this was. My first video on this channel was over a year ago, and I first made this like the night after I found out about the fact that Lost Skies was coming back, and I absolutely lost it because I was just like, oh my god, this is so cool. I have to start doing something about this. I want to see something on this. But yeah, then I just did tons of research about like all the stuff going on and all that. And then I just kept making Skywatches, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. This is really cool to talk about. This is really awesome. I love seeing what they're doing. Raven Miller says, we avoided PvP, so the idea of a hosted session is a dream come true. Yeah, definitely. I think you get the best of the both worlds, because like a lot of stuff I was seeing online, there were people going like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't believe we don't have an MMO structure again. And it's like, you know, it's good and bad in a lot of ways, right? I think with this we get, you know, we get our cake and we get to eat it too, right? So it's definitely, I'd say, a good thing overall with what we have. Yeah, this is one of the islands. I think it was in the trailer. Oh, I just fell to the ground. Okay. I just fell to the ground. But yeah, like, look at these sun shafts. Look how pretty this is. I hope this is not looking like super poor quality on the stream. I'll do my best to make sure it's not too bad. But yeah. Let's see. Let's see. When I first heard about Lost Skies, I almost cried. Yeah. Yeah. I decided to do this channel. It's a great hub for the fans. I appreciate it. I'm very grateful for what the devs have done. The amount of work and hours they've probably put into this is probably insane. I can't imagine actually doing this myself. Before, my only hopes was Voyage Adrift, which is still just scraps, and probably nothing will happen from it. We'll see how it goes. If you guys have seen, because I made a lore video on that too, there's a lot of groups trying to rebuild Worlds Adrift even now, and Voyage Adrift was one of them. I remember finding out that there was Voyage Adrift, and they were working on like a spiritual successor, right? And I thought that was crazy, but like now the devs are back. Like personally, I'm like, this is what's up, you know. But I totally, like, you know, my opinion is like, I'd rather them still try to continue making what they set out to do. If it turns into its own game with its own style, right, go for it. That's completely and totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The PvE will have to play a large role to scratch the old itch. Yeah, no, I think it definitely will, and they definitely added a ton of cool creatures. My personal favorite of which is like the Nautilus, because he's both super, excuse me, I keep burping. He's super adorable, but it's cool that we know he's gonna have combat attacks from the Skywatches, and he's very tall. He's a very tall guy. Oh my god, look at those pretty islands. Yeah. I wonder if I'd be curious to know what kinds of I actually lost my train of thought there. I was just reading whatever AI said. It's important to give enough things to the players so they are also in MMO, and not only in their dedicated worlds, like valuable resources or some kind of unique items. Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, there's definitely gonna be a bunch of creatures, I think, as the devs work on more regions and, you know, new stuff as we go on, but there's already a ton of there's way more creatures than there was in Worlds Adrift. There's so many more creatures. It is actually really, really cool. Especially the bosses too now, like that being in the game, because before we just had, you know, we just had the walls, right? In the PvP. Now we get all of that and everything else. So, you know, it's a win-win there, I think. As well as trading hubs that will boost a dynamic economy. Otherwise, the MMO makes no sense if there's no reward and danger. Yeah. I love swinging around those connected vines. Oh yeah, it is super fun to do. Some of these visuals are just super cool. I really do wish that we had the wingsuit glider that we saw in the trailer, because in the creator, because that thing is really fun to use. I do like how you can like shoot while you are in your glider mode, which is a really cool mechanic. Yeah. I mentioned birds in the stream. Yep. Someone get Adrift a turns. What are you saying? I'm just gonna go and scroll around real quick. Actually, let me just make time of day. Don't mind me. I like being able to see stuff. There we go. I really like the F pole mechanic, because you can use that to like launch yourself. Oh, whoops. Yeah, you can swing, right? And you can also let go, re-grapple, press F, and it launches you toward the object. You can use it to like catapult further into the sky. Really fun mechanic. The PvP words, man. PvP players are not happy about this. They don't get to bully the non-PvP players, but dedicated is definitely the way to go. Yeah, I don't know if they covered this in the stream, obviously because I missed a lot of it, but it's nice having the F pole, I will say. Getting that like crazy boost in the sky. I do kind of keep ramming into these rocks here, but I will try my best to get past them. Ooh. Oh, the music stopped. Hold on. Didn't even realize. There we go. Music back. Alright. I don't remember if this one was dev made or not. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'd be curious to know all the island creation ideas. I saw some cool ones. I saw some cool ones people talking about in Lost Skies Discord, and they're mentioning like they want to do islands that are like subliminal spaces, and like ones that are like there's no terrain at all. It's just like you're like this levitating like concrete like chasm or like maze of some kind. I personally think it's a great idea. Just making all kinds of wacky ideas. Oh, that's spikes. I do think one thing we should have in this island creator is I don't know if I just haven't figured it out yet, but like a light or something, a lamp to carry to be able to see in a lot of these dark rooms would be very nice. Oh wait, this one's not unlocked. There's a mechanism I need to go do. The way grappling requires aiming and timing and forethought makes you feel so cool when you do perfect swing. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. This island is spined by the creator Ugly, and it's a beauty. Oh yeah, okay. Ugly's made a ton of islands, if I remember correctly. I can't remember all the ones that Ugly's put together. Oh. Well, speaking of unlocks... Oh, that's not a shoot one. Ooh. Mind me, I'm just gonna crawl up this. Okay. Let's hope that's all I had to do. Mind me clearing my throat, I'm a little sick. That's not open. Okay. I'm clearly missing something. I need to go explore more. I need to figure out what's going on. The light is coming, bro. This didn't make the cut for release. Laputa. Miyazaki. Oh. Is that another thing there? Oh, is that a shoot one? Oh, that's a good idea. That's really cool. So he hid that inside the statue. I totally did not notice that. And now the door's open. Here we go. I'm still gonna fall on the spikes. Oh god. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm free. There we go. I'm not free. I keep falling in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is not looking good. I have managed... I don't know how I've managed this. Okay. Okay. I'll miss the jump. Here we go. Whoa. Okay. This is a room. This is definitely a room here. Okay. If I remember correctly, we cannot grapple to these alien structures. Yeah. I think it just gets shot off. Does L or Y not bring up a light? I think it does in the Worlds Adrift Island Creator. I think it does in that, but not in this. And I could be wrong if you guys figure something out. Okay, that's a switch behind a wall there. Oh. Uh-oh. I have fallen. This is not good. Afuta is a great reference for how this feels. Looks... Highly recommend viewing. Oh yeah. I have no idea what's down here, but we are going to find out where this leads. Another way out there. Another switch? It is, okay. Maybe this is all I need. Oh, this opens. Okay. Yeah, this opens this door. Here we go. Now I'm free. Perfect. Excuse me. Yeah, I definitely can't wait to see how the... Sorry, I keep falling in the spikes. I can't wait to see what kind of competitions or, like, you know, whatever they do, what kind of events they host, because that will be definitely very cool. Let's see. You know, back to the topic, I will say, of creators who were trying to rebuild Lost Skies. I had quite a numerous amount of people contact me about that stuff. And I was even able to, like, play certain versions of the game, because I guess some people were, like, extracting some of the old files from Worlds Adrift and then just, like, rebuilding, like, components but with other stuff in the game. And then some people were just, like, rebuilding it in their own, like, spinning image or whatever. A lot of them asked not to be named, so I'm not going to talk about them, but I think it's kind of crazy because there was, like, four, I'd say, different groups that were, like, rebuilding the game. One of them was, like, a solo dev who I know. And it's kind of crazy because the amount of people, like, that Worlds Adrift kind of, like, left his mark on is just, like, it's mind-boggling to see. It's very cool that it's coming back, though, I would say. Yeah, no, the fact that fans did that is insane. I know I certainly couldn't, but yeah. I'm curious what you guys think about the ship mechanics. If y'all have seen any of the Skywatches, they're adding a ton of different ship mechanics. And I think one of the interesting ones will be, I think one of the metrics they mentioned on ship control was lift and drag functions, which for me is really fun because, one, I'm currently studying aerospace engineering at my college, And so a lot of what I do is I make a lot of silly little calculations, which I'm not going to get into, but you can kind of like determine your lift and drag ratios of your craft, which makes me curious, like how in depth your ship like mechanics go in relation to like world physics. Like, are there actually like more optimal ship designs technically? Are there like more like other more effective ways to build something that are based on like higher and more lift ratios or lift coefficients basically for your ship's wings or whatever it is? Yeah. Yeah, I'm studying aerospace. I'm in my 3rd year. Trying to study aerospace. I'm getting through the program. That's all I'll say. I'm no genius, but I'm more just like surviving than anything. Yeah. But yeah, like right now I'm taking aerodynamics, flight dynamics and control, astrodynamics, handful of other classes. Right now I'm writing a program in my astro class where we're simulating the orbit of a satellite called Rods from God, which if you've ever heard of, it was like it was a satellite that was proposed in like the 60s or 70s by the government, and it was after they banned like, you know, nuclear weapons in space or something. They're like, hey, we want to put a weapon in space. How do we make an idea where that works, but we're not doing nuclear stuff or explosions? Because, you know, we don't want like atmospheric ignition, and like we don't want our ozone layer getting lit on fire or whatever. But yeah, they basically came up with Rods from God, and they were, you know, it would be a satellite that just has like a bunch of tungsten rods, they're just super dense tungsten rods, and they launch them. It's all kinetic. It's all kinetic energy, and they can do damage close to a nuclear bomb. And so basically that was our presentation, is, you know, because in astro we're basically focusing on the orbital mechanics and how to like properly do like Hohmann transfers, things like that, transfer to different orbits and reorientations around the Earth. And so that was really fun, because we got to simulate that and then program that in MATLAB, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's just one of the things I was doing and working on for a presentation that I did just yesterday. Very fun. Sorry to go on random tangents. It's not really Worlds Adrift or Lost Skies, but yeah. It's all kinetic, don't worry. It looks about a 300-mile crater. Yeah. I mean, it works, right? If you can't have nuclear weapons in space, just do kinetic, just keep it all kinetic. It's fine, you know? It's all you need, right? It still works. But you know, like nowadays, you don't really need weapons in space. There's not really a point to do that, because you can have an intercontinental ballistic missile around the Earth in 2 minutes. It don't make no sense to do that really anymore, especially when you keep it in like a safe missile silo that's protected heavily. It just don't make sense to keep weapons in space, because it's 8,000 miles in diameter. You're not gonna, that thing's gonna get shot down. You wake up badly drinking coffee thinking I should ignite the atmosphere. I wonder, do the nature of the skybox and islands opens up new ways to deal with higher player numbers? Yeah, I don't know, frankly. Yeah, I'm curious to what the limits of like hosting in the world are gonna end up looking like, because, you know, like I'd like to see just how the game handles like 25 people in one spot. Wonder if the devs have ever tested that at any point. That would be kind of a cool thing to see, just like a super laggy bunch of people all messing about. Oh gosh. Let's go to a different island real quick. Sorry if I keep clearing my throat again. I am not the most well-being at the moment. There was a few really cool islands here. I think Rough Landing was one of them. And Thieves of Retribution, that was another one. Oh, if you have time, try the Island Thieves of Retribution. Okay, yeah. I was just all right. Well, We'll check out this island first, and then we will try that one. I don't think I've looked through all of these. I've definitely looked through some, and I don't know if they've been updated since I've been on. This is rough landing. Okay. Just start up here, might as well. Yeah, these pallet functions are going to be interesting to use. I wonder how much of the load will actually be on the server. Yeah. Time devours all. Yeah, might as well. Might as well try them all. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd be curious to know, because there's like a lot of server hosting, you know, program like softwares and companies that are like, you know, I played a lot of Rust, like 4K hours in that game, which is both sad and funny, and I'm happy to say, because I love that game. But yeah, I don't know if they'll add something where like you generate like a server, cloud server that helps you run some of the loading for physics. I don't know if there's going to be something else in relation to like actually scaling, having a bunch of people in a world or something, but I suppose we will find out in due time. Where does this go? Am I blind? Ah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, this is the data relay one, which they I think they covered in the stream briefly. I love these little bridges they have too. Excuse me. Have you played Star Citizen? You know that they are trying to implement a server meshing system, which has to solve this problem by creating multiple interconnected servers. You know, I haven't played Star Citizen, but I have seen a lot of stuff on Star Citizen. No, maybe not a ton, but I've seen the mentions of that mechanic as well and how they're meshing stuff together. And I've seen a lot of content of people saying like it's both good and bad in a lot of ways. But I think as technology gets better in general, it'll definitely improve. Wow, this is really pretty. I love the fireflies so much, and the fog. Wow, you did such a good job. I forget if this grass was like a individual asset or just like a painted grass thing. Oh yeah, these are like weapons, cannons to fire at the player or something. LBC, have you played any of Star Citizen at all? I don't know if you guys have ever touched the game, because I personally haven't. I haven't actually talked to anyone before who's like played the game. Like no one in my friend group actually like plays that game and knows, I think, enough about it to like say anything. Oh, I need to start up there. Hold on, I might be doing this wrong. Oh, hold up. Oh, okay. See this? I see you. There we go. Nice. Good stuff. So I got that stuff unlocked. You know, I'm curious if we're gonna have to scan databanks the same way we did in Worlds Adrift. I forget what tool we use to scan properly. But like, I don't know if databanks are gonna have like game function, or if they're just gonna be aesthetic or something like that. Is this a doorway, or am I crazy? I'm crazy. Guess there is no doorway out here. I haven't played it. It has the potential, but 9% of the time it's unplayable. When it does work, it's really fun. Star Citizen, I assume? I have a friend who plays it. It's an interesting model. You can basically pay for the spaceship. You want to play, not for the game. It's coming along slowly. It's about to drop. Which has server meshing. Okay. Okay. Sounds like it's making good progress. Isn't it like one of the like most fan-funded like games of all time or something. Like if I remember correctly, they had like millions and millions of dollars of funding. I might be wrong, but I feel like it was like tons of people were pumping money in that game. Money I would never never have. Okay. Let's go ahead and just finish this data relay puzzle real quick. Actually turning nighttime. I need to hurry up. Yeah, once we finish this one up, we'll go hop on the Thieves in Retribution Island here. Oh. Here we go. I love that boost. I love the little twirl around in a circle. Here we go. Nice. Here we go. See what's up with this. Oh. It's already broken. I guess you can place pre-broken turret stuff. So that's done. Does that unlock something else, I wonder? Boost up here real quick. Over 750 million. Oh my god. Bro, what? That's so much. Oh my god. I don't have that kind of money, man. If I had that kind of money, I'd be doing something else. I'd be in a lot better place, not AK in debt for college. It's a different story there if I had that kind of money. What bothers me, it's been in development for 12 years and some of the most basic and essential mechanics don't work half the time. That's not a great sign, I'm not gonna lie. That's not sounding too good, frankly. I don't know if finishing that data puzzle did more than unlock the... Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop onto the that other island that Sync recommended. Let's see. Time devours all. Let's see here. Okay. I feel like I'm blind. I probably scrolled past it twice. Wait. Did he say time devours all? He said Thieves in Retribution. And also that one. Okay. I'll just do Thieves in Retribution. We'll get to that at some point. Okay. Oh. A lot of talk here about Star Citizen. Are creatures spawnable in the island creator or just in game? I think you can do like an area set spawn for creatures to appear in certain spots. Might be wrong. But as far as I understand, I don't know if you can directly control the spawns of certain creatures, because I feel like they might want to do that more for the individual, not the individual, the like set regions that the islands are placed in. I guess that kind of depends on what they decide, but let me just turn up the brightness here because it's hard to see. Just can't remember off the top of my head. Back to Star Citizen, this guy's saying they have disastrous development management system, but also the dimension of what they want to create is big. It requires developing several technologies from it. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I hear it's just a massive game, right? And so, like, you know, that's what you kind of get, is just a ton of buggy developments if you're just making a whole new structure and design of a game altogether. See. I gave up on it when it couldn't access my inventory for 2 weeks. I also couldn't refuel repair my ships. I was stuck with no armor, no weapons, and no way to defend myself. Oh jeez. That's a problem right there. Oh man. There's a thing over here. Oh, what's this? Yo. There's a data relay on top there. You know, the one things I did see in the actual live stream that the devs did was the numerical aspect of this puzzle. The fact that you can make it so it's like set in a certain sequence, which I don't remember that was a thing. That would be definitely interesting. Like players could like mark numbers to say like you have to do in this order, and then you find a data relay puzzle and be like, oh, okay, I gotta do it this way. Yeah, that definitely needs a data relay somewhere. Where that is precisely, do not know. You're going to find it. Probably. Ah, dang. That's a lot of negative reviews in Star Citizen. Yeah, I'm definitely probably not gonna try it. Unless someone just says some like crazy thing they did. I don't know. I don't even know how much it costs. I was thinking it'd be cool to have puzzles that require more than one person, but not everyone plays with other people. That's true, yeah. I think that wouldn't be like not doable though, because if you got dedicated servers, right, then you have people that are like, you know, maybe in my experience with Rust servers, right, there's like, you know, duo, trio, quad servers, like it's in the name, like they orient it that way. So I'm not sure how that would work. It'd probably be best not to make it so that there's a lot of puzzles that are like, you need 2 people here to do this. But if you're doing a huge dedicated server, it wouldn't be a bad idea, because then you have to like go out and find people, and you're like, you know, calling over to someone, you're like, hey, I need your help to, you know, let's have a truce to like, you know, go do this puzzle or whatever, unlock this thing. Which I don't know, that could be an avenue to go. Oh, Luke's here. Okay, yo, what's up? Check the floor on that pylon puzzle. Oh, okay. Let's see here. I will take a gander on the floor. Check the floor. Oh. Does this have something to do with it? Okay, maybe. Oh. Hey. So hold on. No momentum. My brain cogs are trying to function here. This. This. You know, thanks, Luke. I appreciate it. I would not have thought that far ahead. I'm not gonna lie. My brain was just like, oh, didn't work. All right, I gotta go do that relay on top of there. Okay. Nah, it looks pretty. It looks pretty. I'm sure it's fun in its own way. They'll have to come in the back systems when Luke trolls you. Yeah, I know. Absolute cinema. The only way to access server chat is a radio on your ship. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate the help on this puzzle. Yeah. Yeah, I'm letting Aerospace not because I'm smart, just because I made a very dumb decision and cannot stop. Look at that. God, I love this sun shaft. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Look at that. This is so pure. Like, just this little... I don't even got words for it. It's so good. I am curious what that is. If that's all... Because that's clearly a data relay. That's something. I do not know yet, but it's something. Dang. Sync getting corrected with correct yours. Okay. Okay, here we go. Something happened here. Someone was not having a good day. Certainly. Let's go in this cave and see what's up. Yeah, definitely probably having a lamp or something, an island critter would be very nice. Ooh, look at this. Ooh. Oh, there's a bunch of rooms. Okay. Puzzle gating like that is such a good new feature. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, this was in the Island Creator trailer, I think. This spot right here. There's a door here. I see a switch. I see a switch. Okay, that cannot be activated yet for some reason. I now feel like I'm an avatar when I look at this. Oh, dang. Y'all getting grammar checked right now. Here we go. That's a switch I can pull. So I wonder if that being activated will unlock this one. It does. Okay. See? You can chain puzzles together. It's gonna be an interesting mechanic. Oh, I double hit that. I wonder if they plan to actually add like the activation sound effects later. I don't know. I see through that. Okay, I need something else to unlock this. I'm clearly missing a step. Oh. Okay. Should have seen that. It's on me. Here we go. Here we go. All these drones are like destroyed already. Yeah, I forget if those are intentionally broken or not. As if they are, really indicates some kind of battle went on here. Switch there. Okay, I'm missing another one somewhere. That one's not activated. Oh, up here. No? Oh. Wait, what? Didn't I shoot? No, I didn't shoot that one. I'm crazy. And another one appears. This is just a shooting range at this point. Okay. There we go. We got them all. I'd like to see what this getting shot by this thing feels like. At least you didn't use R instead of our. At that point, you'd be better to put on a helmet. Oh my god. Yeah, getting those giant like cannons reminds me of the big ones from Worlds Adrift, because whenever I was hopping into the Island Creator to actually just explore around, whenever I was like getting footage for the videos, I would just sometimes get obliterated by those. And especially if you're like in an open area and you're between two cannons, you just keep getting cyclically knocked into like the ragdoll animation. You're just like, what do I do? Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump out of here. We've been in the darkness for a while. Starting to feel like Bane from Batman. What are you guys' things you miss most from Worlds Adrift? Was it the shipbuilding? Was it the exploring? Or something else that I am not naming off the top of my head? Because I definitely just like the challenging the weather walls. I think that was my favorite thing to do. Like doing that with my roommate when we played that game together. That was really fun. At least at the time that we did it. Doesn't look like you'll have time to feel that cannon much. I can't express how stoked I am. Exploring and building ships, yeah, definitely. To some aspect, I also think it was like, because I'm a Rust player, like, let's be honest here. I really like the fear of like not knowing when something was coming on the horizon, when a player would like show up and, you know, take it all from me. And like, to an aspect, that sucks, right? Losing all your stuff. But I also like, you know, how free-flowing it was to just like encounter some random dude, whether he's peaceful or whether he wants to take every penny I'm worth, right? And it was fun to like have that challenge, that like, you know, that risk involved. Yeah, it was very organic, I will say. Mine is so silly. I miss the spindly character models, but I'll get over it. Yeah. Yeah, they did kind of flop around. This is a new one. This might just be a simple one. I don't think it's orientation or order specific. Go. This is just a simple chest one. There was another one I saw, island-wise. I forget what it's called again. I'll have to go find it. But there was one where they used a locking behind you mechanism instead, where you entered did some kind of, you know, check, shoot, lever, whatever it is, and the door locked behind you as you went in. And I could not for the life of me get out of it. And it was a whole underground city. It was crazy. And it's on this thing somewhere, but wow. This dude just built a castle. Dang. On top of this. Yeah, if you guys have any island ideas, just let me know. You can throw it in my Discord. You can spam it wherever. I do not care. I will take and read all of them, regardless. Real quick, I'm gonna find out what this is. Oh, just a little hole. There we go. I liked it when they made so PvP was only in certain areas. You know, I don't know. I was probably around during that time. I don't know if, like, was that region specific or something? I don't know if, like, I had enough functioning sentience as a player to, like, be aware of that. We'd make it through the sandstorm, getting titanium and blueprints, then back through TP the safe zone. Oh, okay. Oh shoot, I'm gonna die. You know what's also new, by the way, is this thing right here. The arc. This outer design and inner design looks sick. And this thing looks ridiculous on the inside. Actually, I don't know if we can go in. This thing looks awesome. Like, look at that. Insane. I know. If I wanted to spawn into this game, this is how I would do it. It's so cool. Like, just like the details on the floor, like you can see it just at different angles, like the little wirings or the little glass holes and all that stuff, like levitating, like whatever this is. I can probably climb onto it. Nope. Okay, never mind. But yeah, like the gashing hole in the side and all that stuff. All these like wires around and all that. Super cool. All this like symbols and stuff. Actually, are these like straight up the Gaul symbols? Yeah. I can't really tell, frankly. I don't know. It looks pretty similar to the stuff we see on the enemy things, so take that as you will. And you don't even have to break NDA. Reminds me of Warframe in a good way. I know. I like I like being able to actually show this stuff off. It's so nice. I will say though, like half the battle, speaking of NDA, is like I'm trying to like my brain gets so mixed up like writing like scripts for these videos and then like deducing between what's like NDA safe or not safe is a mess. Like just so you get an idea, right? I'm gonna pull up a document real quick. One second. See if I can find this here. Updates, here we go. So this document, don't mind the MATLAB code I have on here, but as you load this Google Doc I have, you will notice it says 171 pages. All of this, everything you are seeing is handwritten. It is every video I've ever made on this channel. It's going. Yeah, I know. It's when I am writing this stuff out, my brain sometimes just gets fogged up and I have to double check and like make sure I'm not like breaking something or like, I don't know. Yeah, we're good. I don't think we've had any problems. I think we're completely good. But yeah, like I put every script on one Google Doc, which is a very not good way to do it, but it is the way I do it. So, yeah. I also have a giant compilation of like every Skywatch with all of their recordings, videos, pictures, and everything iterated, and outlined like a giant court document or something. And that's what I use a lot of the time as well to compile like videos and footage of all the stuff that I put on this channel. Yeah, it's a commitment sometimes, but it's, you know, I think it's fun. I'd like to see PvP only, restricted to your dedicated instances, and maybe a few hubs and counterpoints if there will be any. Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder to what extent of PvP control you will have as a person who's hosting a dedicated server. Like if you can set certain areas, that would be cool, because like if you're already able to set like certain islands, if you're already to set certain islands to have like be in your world, whether community only or also like the Bossa selected list, then you know, I feel like you could probably select certain areas to be PvP only or not have it or whatever it is you want. I guess it depends on what they do. You work like I do, everything in one doc. Oh boy. I'm imagining Luke as like a master list, because you guys probably been doing this way longer than me, so it's probably just like a 400-page document of everything. All your notes or whatever. God, I'd like to see that thing. Like, all right, boys, open up to page 8,246 of today's what we're gonna do today. I really want to know if we can set zone rules. Yeah, that would be very nice to know. I'm sure we'll find out in due time, because like a lot of this stuff we'd like to know now, but like, you know, you gotta let them cook, you know, like you don't want to make too many promises too early, and I completely understand that, you know. this game development is up and down, right? You add a new thing, right, and it fixes this problem or adds this mechanic, but then it breaks something other that's totally unrelated for no reason, and then you probably spend an hour debugging that out. It's like you don't fully know what's feasible until you kind of start getting there. So yeah. Excuse me. I need to build a new PC, and I want to make sure it can run Lost Skies. Do you know where I can find the specs necessary for the game? You know, I will say, actually, I will, hold on. A lot of Steam games will, okay, I don't want to pull this up because I have it. But if you look on the dev's Steam page, I'm sure that it probably has a list of like recommended specs for your computer to optimally run this game. Yeah, I mean, most games usually have it listed on the bottom, like what's, you know, the bare minimum to run effectively, and I think that's probably a good reference. My current computer setup, doing 32 gigs of RAM, a 4070 Ti GPU, and a Ryzen 9. I think it's 3800X. And I'm running this game while streaming, which is pretty good. I'm getting about 60 FPS right now, so, you know, give or take. NPC settlements or a large trade ship would be cool, where crews have to compete for rep or favor with them. That would be kind of cool, honestly. I feel like NPC settlements would be a very tall order to add, but I mean, who knows what they add, honestly. Luke's at least 2 inches taller than Todd Howard, probably not related to him. Okay. Maybe the, you know, being taller will, you know, help him make the game even better. I don't know. Never know. I'm really excited to see how the bosses turn out, frankly. I want to see a bunch of boss content, because that will be super fun. Like, I've seen so many like memes of like Sea of Thieves and stuff, when they're like people losing it whenever they encounter like a giant kraken on the horizon or whatever. And I'm just imagining just the most absurd boss on the horizon, me with my crew and my boys, and we're just pulling up and just like, Captain, look! And then just this monstrosity appears from behind the clouds. I would like to see a lot of those moments in the game. That would go crazy. 3060 Ti would probably be enough. Yeah, I mean, I think it probably would. Mine's running 4070. I don't think a 360 would do bad. I've heard, I will say though, I've heard from a lot of people that say that in general, like the generation of your GPU, like starting like 20, 30, and 40 matters, unless it's, as long as it's like relatively new, a lot less than the difference of saying like a 2060 to a 2070. Like that difference matters more, I think, generally, than like if it's like, you know, I'm going from a 20 series to a 30 series. At least from what I've heard, like graphically. So if I were you and you were gonna go into like 30 series, I'd probably try at least get a 70, if I could, so long as it has like the same ports that you need for your monitor and your whatever accessories you need to adapt to it or whatever. But I don't think a 3060 is bad either. I'm sure that's probably more than enough to run it. But yeah, I definitely would check their Steam page if it says what the minimum requirements are and kind of base it off of that, because it's probably not good to base your financial decisions off of what some random guy on the internet says. But yeah, I'm just a dude. Okay, I'm gonna go wander around Thieves in Retribution. I don't think I went to that one yet. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I'm running it now at 70 frames on a 3060 Eagle. Well, that's even better then. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, it comes down to like, what's financially better for you? Oh wait, no, this is the same island. I'm crazy. What am I doing? This is not the same thing. Okay. Now I could go to Shattered Peak, but I've gone on it before and it really lagged my game, and I'm hesitant to do it, but I may just do it anyway. We'll wait a second. I'm gonna go to the Valve district. I think that might be a little less game intensive. We'll kind of work our way from there and see how that goes. Okay. Okay. That basically answers my question perfectly. Okay. Look at that. Perfect. You guys got it. Whoa. This is pretty. This is cool. Wow. Excuse me, I keep burping. My poor i7 8700K will be put to hard work. I have the feeling. This is this looks just like the engine we saw. Was this Ugly's Island? Hold on. Might have been Ugly's. There's a switch up here. That's cool. Hold on. Yeah, this is made by Ugly. Okay. I think he made the Inventor's Mansion. As well. So yeah, like this I think would be an example of the grouped asset. This looks just like the engine on that little model ship from that mansion. Oh, I'm in the thing. But yeah, like that's a gravestone, but this would be like shrunken down and then just uses a single engine on that model. It's like the fact that you can do that and just change it so much. Yeah, this is all the same style. I think this is all made by Ugly. Remember correctly, I saw something somewhere that there was a underground area. Crazy? I'm gonna grapple around this island real quick. I think, unless this is a different one that I'm thinking of. It's like a sewer system. Yeah, there's something here. There's a data relay right there. Squeeze through. Look at that. I just built the whole sewer system. Like, what the heck? Speaking of, I wonder if they're gonna add water to this. That would be a good question to know. Because they had water in the World's Adrift Island creator. I don't recall it being in the actual World's Adrift game. I could be wrong, but maybe it's just in the island creator for funsies. This is a big door. I don't see any levers here to hit this though. Hit those. I wonder if maybe I need to go hit those switches on the balloon things or engine things in the sky. Yeah, I think they got water working at some point. Oh yeah, the grappling hook is super smooth. They did a great job with it. I mean, just like they have the boosting mechanic from Worlds Adrift, and then they also have like, you know, motions where you're actually like launching yourself, doing a little twirl or whatever it is. And it just feels clean to use. The World's Adrift water was too buggy for live. Oh, I see. That makes sense, yeah. Because, like, didn't they already have a ton of problems with, like, all the creatures that they wanted to add because of Spatial OS, you know, causing issues on the servers? You know, another reason why it was just bottlenecking progress. If that was a reasoning, I wouldn't be surprised, frankly. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get all these switches as I go on. Are they gonna add a glider like the one in World Drift? Yes, I believe so, because in the Skywatch, they showed a bunch of concept art for that. I can't imagine they would do all that for nothing. I will not say more than that. So I'm just trying to make sure I don't overstep. Yeah, the layout's very cool. It's super geometric. Like this city is exactly in the like Saborian style that I think you would expect it to be. Because they were all like circles, super geometric looking. And I guess, I don't know if Saborians are supposed to be like a warrior class. Definitely like they believe they were gods and whatnot. We know that stuff. But there's 1, 2, 3. Get all of them? I think I did. I don't know if that it's a drone there. I don't know what this unlocks unless that's individual for the building. So maybe, hold on, maybe this just unlocked what was in this building here. Oh, climb this. Oh yeah, it's a really nice map. That's unlocking a chest. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I don't know. I love like this architecture on the side, like the crumbled pieces there. These like little statues of people on the side. Like it's so good. It's so pretty. To think how this is gonna look when we have ships, I need to know. When we actually get ships like unlocked and we can play the actual game. I think this just leads down to the sewer system again, right? Yeah, there's a little lever here too. That monolith is not activated. Do not know. Okay. I'm actually gonna exit out and go look under that big door because I'm really curious. Maybe that's just the bottom of the island. Yeah, no, that's not... I thought for a second this door was like we had to unlock it or something. That's just aesthetic, I think. Excuse me. I wonder what this looks like with the planes. Okay. Ooh. That's not bad. That's actually very fitting with the glowy bits. Ooh, okay. Oh, even the wall leaves here. I think I might like this aesthetic more a little bit. Pretty good. Will it be in early access again? That's a good question that I don't know. What did I turn on? So yeah, when you're in this mode, so I'm in the workshop view mode. On the right side, you can do the world preview. I did Atlas Plains as like opposed to the green pines. Like that's what it was. And this is what I changed it to. But I'm gonna change it to Azure Grove real quick. Will it be in early access again? I don't know, frankly. And even if I did know, I don't think I could tell you. Yeah, I think from what I would guess, because they have the open development community, do they really need to do an early access? I don't know. That's kind of up to them. So, it's hard to say. I'd like people to be able to play earlier, but I think they also want to make sure that like their first impression of like the game itself is as best as it can be. So they may stray away from that because they have, you know, the functions of the open development community. So, you know, I wouldn't count on it, at least. I'd rather you be, you know, surprised, and maybe it is, than make any promises or guesstimations. What's your PC specs? Gonna double check in a second here. I'm sure I can pull up on my settings actually. Got to dip out. Some friends are ready to play some Generation Zero. I'm hosting. It's been fun. Join the Discord, so I'll be around. Hey, thanks for staying around, Ray. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. Let's see here. Actually, I'll go ahead and give it a gander real quick. Actually, pull up my settings. Make sure I don't live stream too much. System here. Okay. About. Okay. So in terms of specs, I have a Ryzen 3900X. I got that wrong. 12 core processor, 3.79 gigahertz, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and then my 4070 GeForce RTX Ti graphics card. So which I put together myself. I've been just adding on to this computer since I was 15 over many moons. It'd be nice for a 1.0 for change, but I would still be happy to support the development. Yeah, you know, I think it's good to let him cook. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I should have relatively good specs. It is sometimes laggy on the Island Creator, even still. Then again, I'm streaming, so obviously a little better when I'm not doing that, but you know. Alright. I think I have about explored this island good enough. Are there any types of puzzles that you guys would like want to see in addition maybe to what we have, or additions to puzzle functionality from what you might have seen on the devs live stream? Because there's quite literally, as far as my brain can imagine, a near infinite number of stuff you could do. But if you guys have any cool ideas, let me know. I'd like to hear all about them. I'm just load up this random island here. Yeah, capturing this and streaming it isn't helping the frame rate, I'm sure. That's good, that's good. As long as it's not like unbearable to watch. I was a little worried about this when I was gonna start the stream up, that things would look a little janky and too low FPS. But I'm glad it turned out at least digestible. Let's see. I'd like to see puzzles that punish you if you get it wrong, like turrets pop out and fight you. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be a good one. I definitely like that idea. Some more dynamic puzzles with physics props. Haven't seen much of that so far. And a deep labyrinth. Okay. You know what I would also like to see is not just drone. Well, I guess I don't know how we would do this. Because we can, if we can place certain areas for enemies to spawn, I would like to have like doors that have, you know, maybe a spawner of like living entities, like the cave bugs from the Skywatches. And it's just like, you know, it's like a Indiana Jones, like they're dropping the snakes on you type deal, where they're like unleashing a horde of cave bugs that charge at you or something or whatever. All right, thanks for stopping by, Ray. Appreciate it. Giant hedge maze, that would be good too. Yeah, no, speaking of physics, by the way, physics props. This is a cool mechanic, which I'm going to show you real quick. I'm actually going to load up this test world here. There's quite a lot you can do with the physics stuff, but there's also another function which I noticed with the energy wall. I'm gonna try and find one real quick. If I can get a hold of this. Here we go, energy wall. So this thing, I'm gonna quickly make it large, so y'all can have a better look at that real quick. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Okay, I'm gonna angle this a little bit, and then I should be able to take the what is it called? The threat physics object. Yes, a cube. Place that there, and then a boulder, and then yeah, I can take a puzzle element like a switch here, smack it down, and then drag the, let me undo that, and then drag the output into the inputs. Then I'm going to invert this if I can. Yes, invert, make it pretty. But yeah, basically you can set these up, I think, just be okay. I thought for a second you could place them in the walls. I'm going crazy, I think. I think I did place them once in the wall like this as a test, and they were able to be like frozen in place until you deactivate it. But for, you know, theoretical sake, you could place a platform, place boulders on top, maybe make it so that, like, you know, you hit a switch and then it deactivates, then drops that physics object onto you or something else, or maybe the boulder like rolls down, you know, an open gateway. Yeah, you kind of get the idea. But yeah, the idea would be that you hit the switch, it deactivates, they get dropped down from wherever they are. So yeah, being able to like make multi-step physics related and also switch puzzles in sequence, I think is going to be really cool. You can also run on this stuff too, like even as a player. I can't grapple to it, but I can jump off of it like a ramp. I know. Techno wizard, oh yeah. You can make like a, you know, ramp just like leading up to the sky, like you do some sequence and then you're just like, you have to like get up to another island that's like, you know, I don't know, way too high for you to grapple to. You'd have to either get a ship, but you know, another way could be they build out a giant ramp of an energy wall and just go super high up into the sky to the next area. Yeah, definitely good. Yeah, it's definitely cool being able to test all this stuff out. I really like the idea of us maybe one day being able to make an Atlas lifter that's like, you know, it's like a permanent one or something, but it's maybe super expensive. And I just like, you know, I find like an item of my friends on the ground and I just stick an Atlas lifter to it and then grapple it and then just hide it somewhere far away or like dangle it over an edge or whatever. And my buddy's just like looking through his chest like, oh my god, where's my gun or whatever it is. Just like take things and put them weirdly in the sky. But yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I think I put so many lifters on a shipwreck hoping that would work in World's Adrift. Yeah. That'd be interesting to see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here, guys. It was quite a long stream. I do have to go very soon, so I do apologize, but this is probably where I'm gonna call it. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are happy seeing the stream like this, you know, let me know. We might do more of these in the future, and if it keeps going on, maybe we could even host like, you know, competitions of some kind, and you know, give out rewards to some people who make like the best islands, or we rank them or something. I don't know. we can think of all sorts of ideas as we go on here, and you'll definitely be seeing more from me in terms of video content and stuff. A cube you fly into with chambers to unlock a large door to fly through. Might need to build a special ship to fit and get the loot. Oh, that's an interesting thought. That's an idea right there. I think there's definitely a ton we can do. I mean, yeah, this whole stream has just been kind of explaining all the things we can do, but I am gonna go. I appreciate you guys all for stopping by. I'm glad so many people actually like came here and showed up. This is great to see. But yeah, it's awesome to see. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like always, have a beautiful rest of your day, boys. Peace.